Greetings, listeners, and thank you for joining us at the LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
Donovan, Donovan.
Will.
And Phil, the Honda Tech.
We thank you for the download, and we thank you for checking out the LookBack Podcast, the new and improved version. Improved? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Definitely new and improved.
Improvised.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Improved, improvised. I like that too. Either way, the new edition of the LookBack Podcasts. We are a group of guys looking back at old events from the past, pro wrestling events, Formula One events. Who knows, maybe more in the future, but at least for now, pro wrestling and Formula One. We do a roundtable show, semi-weekly, kind of switching now over to be more of a once-a-month type show where we bring different topics and discuss them on there. But we'll give you a little bit of kind of a rundown of what we do on the Pro Wrestling LookBack show, the roundtable, as well as the F1 LB or the Formula One LookBack. But yeah, we'll start with the LookBack show for the pro wrestling side of things. We will normally, myself, Donovan, sometimes Will, sometimes maybe even Phil, and we used to have, members in the past that were on the show as well, but who knows, there might be people jumping in the future. So the door is always open here at the LookBack. But anyway, we look back at shows including pay-per-views from WCW, ECW, WWE, AEW, any wrestling, pro wrestling entertainment company that there is. We generally try and look back at some of those. We pay-per-view stats at the beginning of the show. We'll give you kind of the arena, the attendance, all that sort of stuff. Moments of the night. We'll run through match by match, each of the matches that happen at that pay-per-view, as well as kind of a breakdown at the end to give you our perspective. And like I said, our moments of the night is kind of one of the segments that's going to be all over the LookBack Podcast, not just the pro wrestling side. And
don't forget about the Meltsies, our own little star rating we got on the Pro Wrestling LookBack.
Thank you for reminding me about that one, Don, because I totally forgot. The Meltsies, which is kind of, our version of the star rating. But we have another show on the pro wrestling side of things that's kind of held and more run, I guess, by the man himself right here.
Yeah, so also on the PWLB side of things, we got the Championship LookBack show, and that's basically we're going to look back at old championships, old or current championships in pro wrestling from any company, WWE, WCW, ECW, so on and so forth. I also give you a personal top 10 breakdown list of my opinion on maybe the best champion, the worst champion, the forgettable ones, and also coming soon, probably if you're listening it's there already, but a new show is coming on the PWLB side, and that's going to be rivalries, and that's where we're talking about old rivalries of wrestling. Ric Flair, Steamboat, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels,
Stone Cold and The Rock,
Savage, Hogan, whatever, you name it.
It's going to be a bit of a look back rivalry and looking back at some of the most famous and memorable rivalries in pro wrestling history. But so that's the pro wrestling side of things. Like I mentioned a little bit at the beginning, we're going to continue with our roundtable discussion show that we do every week, or we were doing every week under the Pro Wrestling LookBack. We'll be continuing forward with the song we use, the name. Everything's going to be pretty much the same with that show, except for the format. The format's going to change in the sense that it'll be each member of the show, whether that's a guest from outside of the LookBack Podcast or myself, Nick, doing it again with the bringing it back old school style with the third person talk. Will and Phil, whether it's the four of us, two of us, three of us, or somebody else, we're each going to bring a topic to the table and spend half an hour, 20 minutes on that topic, and that'll basically be your roundtable show. It gives us a chance to kind of talk and express ourselves in a form that isn't the LookBack show, and as well gives you, the listener, an opportunity to hear, our opinions of things outside of pro wrestling and Formula One, and just nerd culture in general and whatever else we get up to, mechanics and all sorts of different things. But yeah, so if you were already on the same feed as before, everything's still going to be on the same feed that you were on before. You can subscribe to the same thing under the LookBack show. But we've got a new show coming as well. It's very similar to the Pro Wrestling LookBack, but it is the Formula One LookBack. I'm going to let Will kind of explain a little bit of what we do on that show.
Yeah, the Formula One LookBack is going to be basically the similar thing to what we have the Pro Wrestling LookBack, where it's just going to be an in-depth look back on old Formula One Grand Prix from different eras. It's just going to be a fun show. We're going to sit down, watch the shows, talk about top 10 with lap by lap, who pits where, and things like that. And we also have another show regarding Formula One, which is going to be the Formula One update. I'm going to throw it over to Phil for that one.
Well, the Formula One update, as if you've been listening, you've heard it in the past. It's just the current events of the current races of this season, which will be the 2020 season. It's just going to be, quick stats, a little maybe some, not lap by lap, but over the time, the progression of the race and how it goes, and the final driver champion standings, and constructor standings.
Yeah, very, very similar to the F1 update that I had been doing, and me and Will and Phil and Donovan as well. Everybody had been doing on the roundtable of the Pro Wrestling Look Back. So getting into, like you said, track stats, different ideas, thoughts, emotions, everything that there is to come out of those Grand Prix that are going to happen here in the year of 2020 and going forward, as well as, top 10 finishers, the dupa of the race, which is our, I don't know, worst driver of the night or worst driver of the day. We'll get into more of that on the F1 Look Back show. But yeah, those are all the new shows from the Pro Wrestling Look Back, the F1 Look Back, the Look Back show in general. And yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to let the listeners know before we let them, go check out some of the new shows we're going to be having.
I think we pretty much covered it all here, boys. If you listen this far, you stayed classy.
We appreciate that. So if you don't already, everything is changed over now on Instagram and Twitter. It is at TheLookBackShow. It is TheLookBackShow@gmail.com. You can head over to Teespring/TheLookBackShow, as well as Pro Wrestling Look Back. The t-shirt store for Pro Wrestling Look Back is still there as well. We are on iTunes, Spotify, PodBean. We're going to be on YouTube going forward under a new channel, The Look Back Show. Same with the Teespring account. The YouTube for Pro Wrestling Look Back will stay, as well as Google Play. And I think that's pretty much everywhere you can find us. If you want to send us a DM on either one of those, at The Look Back Show or TheLookBackShow@gmail.com, please do that. Give us ideas for lookbacks, championship lookbacks, hey, rivalries.
Yep.
If you're interested in an old Grand Prix that you want us to watch and get our opinions and thoughts of, send it there. But I don't know. From myself, I just want to say this show that we do here, all the shows we do here, 100% opinion-based. These are opinions of our own. They don't represent any companies or associations that we are associated with, and we just want to talk in a positive way and have, thought-provoking conversations with you. Well, not with you guys, but kind of with you, the listeners, with ourselves, with everybody. And yeah, we hope you enjoy kind of everything that we're going to be having going forward from 2020 and onward. But from myself, I'm Nick.
And I'm Donovan.
I'm Will.
And I'm Phil.
Stay classy.